Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I will discuss about Lockbox technical details. In the technical details, I will discuss about transmission format, control file, and BAI2 format. And I will also discuss about these solutions when you will integrate the solution with your bank, how you will receive the file or how you will pick the file from the bank server. So that I'm going to discuss, and I will also add and I will show you how to check in the Lockbox interface table, because sometimes data is stuck in the interface table, so you can check and what are the interface table and what are the records we have to update and we have to check and we have to verify, okay, those records. So this I'm going to discuss, and I hope you like my Lockbox video which I already uploaded. So the first video is regarding how to set up the Lockbox, and this is a end-to-end process which I have received a file from bank and uploaded through the Lockbox program. So from start to end point, whatever the setup is required in the middle, so which I have covered in the first session. Okay, so in the Lockbox part 1. So now I'm going to create Lockbox part 2. So I have received many comments, okay, from you that we need like the BAI2 format and technical details, like how we can extract the data and how we can check the data. And in my first part, I have also said uh, that I will make a second part for the transmission format, because it's very important to understand the format, right? The setup is not a big deal. Setup, like, okay, you can do, okay, you can create, okay, setup, but to understand the file structure and file format when you receive the transmission format from the specific bank, right? Each bank having the specific format and their positions. So how you will understand that one, and based on that how you will create your own transmission format and how you will update the same position in the control file. So those all things I'm going to discuss, right? So today let me just write down what I'm going to discuss. Sorry guys, I have very old Microsoft Word and Excel, because this is a Vision instance, and on this one this is very old Microsoft Word and Excel. So I don't have any choice. I have to use this one. Yeah. So anyway, okay, it will work for our purpose. Yeah. So the first we will discuss about the transmission format. Transmission format. And second, we will discuss about the control file. Control file. Next, we will discuss about the BAI2 format, which is a standard format for each bank for the Lockbox. And the fourth, uh, the technical tables, and fifth, solutions to integrate Lockbox file with any bank. So these are the 5 things I'm going to discuss in this channel. The first is already covered, not this one, the setup part. Okay, so setup part is already covered. So I will discuss about the transmission format first. Let me just switch the responsibility. So receivable responsibility. Okay, so this is my responsibility. So first we go in the setup. and in setup the receipts, lockbox, and here's transmission format. So this is a navigation for the transmission format. Okay. So basically, what is the transmission format? Let me just explain you in very short way. Okay. So the transmission format is basically having all the record type which you receive in the file. So both the file should match with the record types. Okay, so it's basically like you can say format mapping, right? So you are organizing your format with the bank file. So that's why we set up a transmission format. So when you receive the file, transmission format is checked when the upload program is like upload the data in the interface table. So all the data and field in the transmission format, okay, what are the record types? And in the record type, we have the positions and attribute, right? So each attribute and position are matching with the bank file which we are receiving the data in the file in the BAI2 format, right? So this is the transmission format works. So this is very important. So all should be aligned. Align means the transmission format, control file, and BAI2 format. So these all three should be aligned as point of view the record type. So this is the basic definition of the transmission format. Okay, so now if you press Ctrl 11, you can see different type of format, right? So we are not going to use this one. Oracle having already the standard format which is for the bank integration, right? For the VI format. So this is the standard format. Okay. So you can create your own format. Normally, as per standard practice, you should not touch the standard format. You should have for the reference purpose. So what you can do, you can create your own, okay, with the name. Suppose like, okay, you are dealing with like Bank of America, HSBC Bank, or any other banks, right? So in that case, you can enter like your bank name, say example the WOFA lockbox, means WOFA transmission format, okay, or maybe okay you can give your uh, any short name or whatever. In the description you can give the detailed description. So this is like what say example the WOFA uh, VI2 format, okay, for specific entity or like okay for company, okay. So and once you define this one, then you can have all this type. So what you have to do, you have to create like uh, uh, an all in sequence, right? 1 2 4 5 6 7 8 9. We don't have here 3, okay. So just okay, remember this one. So you have to just okay copy paste okay everything, okay, whatever data. And based on that, based on the file, because when you deal with the bank, okay, bank share the uh, one transmission format file with you, right? So each bank having their own transmission format. So basically 80 to 85% the data position fields are matched, but I can say like 15 to 20% like data there are some change in the position as per the bank, okay. So they are like uh, different position and okay, different record and additional information which you requested to bank to provide in the file. So these are the record type. So basically what is these record type? So these record type, each record type having the meanings, and inside the record type you will see the attribute and positions, okay. So basically this record type is identify your file identifier that this type is belong to which record type, and specific record type having the information for your lockbox data. Okay, so now say example, we just take an example first for the transmission header, right? And at the same time, let me open the data file. So this is my data file. So this is, I can say, BAI2 format. Okay, and one more thing, lockbox data file which you receive from the bank. So I can say this is a like bank file. I have received this file from the bank, right? So if you see here the record type 1, 2, 5, 6, 4, 7, 8, 9. Here you cannot see 3. So all the record type is matching with your transmission format record type. So here is like sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Me 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here 1, 2, 5, 6, 4, 7, 8, 9. So it doesn't matter, right? Okay, because our standard loader program will check the record type, and based on the record type it will insert in the interim table, and based on the interim table it will go into the lockbox interface table, and from there it will be loaded in the AR cache received solve. Okay, so now I will talk about first the transmission format. So just click on the transmission fields. So basically in the transmission format, what major information it's having? Okay, so this is a record identifier which identify that this record is belong to a transmission header, right? So this transmission header having the information destination account, which is your bank account. Second, origination. This origination is like a bank branch number. This origination is provided by the bank which you are dealing with them, and they will provide you the this is the our branch number which we call origination number. So you have to set up on the bank level. So you can watch my Lockbox part 1 if you have not checked, so it will clear where to define the origination number on the bank level. Okay, and next is the deposit date. So which date your check is deposit into the bank from the customer side, right? But anyway, this date is all depend on your setup what you have choose. Okay, so in our setup we have choose the constant date, right? So I will enter manual date. So based on that that date will be picked my receipt date. But normally in the business cases you can choose deposit date. So deposit date means which date every day you will receive the file, right? So you will have the same day is like the deposit date, so the receipt will be created in the same day. Okay, so this is your transmission header, and if I explain, I have also having the, let me make it zoom. Okay, so this is your transmission header. So basically transmission header marks the beginning of specific data file. So transmission header usually contains information such as destination account, origination number, deposit date, and deposit time. Okay, so these all are the information having in the transmission format. And if you want to add the time also, so you can also add the time. But normally we have just deposit date, and bank is also provided deposit date. Okay, so this is a transmission header. Now I will open the file and will tell you what is the position here. So I will just copy paste here. Let's say this is my record type 1 transmission header. Okay, so this one is identify, this record type is my transmission header. Okay, so I will highlight it this one with the red. Now next is, if I talk about one to one, the position one to one, this is my position one to one. Okay, this is my position one to one. This 001 I don't consider here. Okay, but sometime it may be for the like batch number, batch numbering. Okay, so you can use this one, but for the transmission header it's not required. If you have this information, so it's fine. Okay, now next is start position for to end position. So this is our 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So from here we have to consider till 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it means 1 to 7 is your destination account. So this is your destination account. 4 to 10. Okay, this is your destination, and 11 to 14, this is your branch number. 11, 12, 13, 14. So 2001 is your branch number, and this is your deposit date. 15 to 20. Just make sure when you receive the sample file from the bank and the transmission format file, okay, so based on that you have to set up your BAI2 format in transmission format. Okay, you cannot define all the position from your choice. It's not your choice. Okay, you have to align with the bank transmission format. Okay, so in the transmission format, uh, bank having their standard transmission format, and they will also share the sample file. Okay, so this is information as per our transmission format. So first what you have to do, you have to define all the setup, what is required setup. And when you do this setup for the transmission format, right, so you have to uh, open the bank transmission format file, and first you have to look on the record type 1 and what are the position. You have to change the position, or if it is aligned already existing, then okay, you don't need to change, right? So the next is deposit date. So if you see, my format is RRMMDD, right? You can change the format, it's up to you, but I choose RRMMDD. So if you see, this is 01, 1st January 16, right? So if you see here 15 to 20, okay, till here we have 14. Now 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So these are the our deposit date. So this is our transmission header. So how you have to read the file? So in the file, this is our record type 1. Now you can easily read this file. Where is the position? So if you understand this one, this socket transmission format, so based on that your data file will have the same data. Now second is the service header. I will click on the service header. So service header having the information like record identifier 1 to 1. Okay, 1 to 1 means it's having only uh, one position, so you can enter only one number, that's it. 2 to 8, which is like 7 numbers. Okay, so 7 alphanumeric character you can add in this position. Same for the 9 to 12. Okay, you can add. So if you see here, the record type 1 is identify here This is our record type 2. This is a service header, and in the record type 2 we have position 1. One is record identifier. Okay, so when the record will interface, so it will be placed under the position 1, and under the position 1 it will go the record type 2, which means it's a service header. So the second is destination account, which we already discussed, and this is origination number, and this is attribute 1. Okay, so the justify means, if suppose I will take an example in the next scenario where we have the transaction number and payment number, so it will be very easy to understand you. So how we have to use the justify and the fill symbols, right? If I open now the data file record type 2, this is my record type 2, service header. This is your record type 2, and this is your destination account 22345 6. Actually, basically this is a 2. I need to correct here. Let me check the file one more time. This account, yeah, 2234567. This is our account. Okay, so this is your record type, and the position, if we check position 2 to 8, if you check 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, so 2 to 8 position we have destination account, so we will highlight it here. And if you see origination 9 to 12, 9 10 11 12, so this is your origination, which is bank branch number. And if you see here, this is attribute 1. Okay, so this attribute I leave as a null, I didn't enter anything. This is our DFF value attribute 1. So it means if bank is sending any additional details on the service header, but basically on the service header the bank don't send any like other information. So normally in record type 4 and record type 6, you can request it to bank to send the additional detail. So bank shared the information which you can store in the attribute 1, attribute 2, or attribute 3, right? So if any information comes in this attribute 1, okay, here we have position. So afterwards, this one here, it will start till position 42. So if bank share any additional details which you requested on the service header level, right? So we if you have received from the bank 46 position from 13 to 46, right? But you have here 42. So what will happen? This transmission format, it will only allow the position from 13 to 42. Whatever data you have, it will be interfaced into your staging table. Okay, so so this is basically attribute we use here for additional information. Now next is overflow payment. This is record type 4. So each record type we can identify, yeah, this record type is belong to what, this record type is belong to what, this record type is belong to what. So now let's open overflow payment. This is your overflow payment. Okay, so main for the receipt and transaction, record type 4 having your transaction number details, and record type 6 having your receipt details, that what is the receipt amount, and the customer name, receipt date, account, which account. So we'll click on overflow payment, transmission format. This is the my file, record type 4, record type 4, overflow payment. So this 4, identify your record type, which is overflow payment, and the next is 2 to 4. This is a batch name. Okay, so it means like you will have the batch name which is sent by the bank, because in one file you can have multiple batch, right? So it's depend on your overflow sequence in one batch, how many records can be sent by the bank. So if like one batch is allowed 99, so and you have 200 received in the file, so it will be like the three batches, right? It's up to like your requirement. If you want one batch, so in the one batch you can send, okay, share the details. So if you see here 2 to 4, this is a batch name, 2 3 4, okay, till 500, and then 5 to 7 item number. So each item will be like in this sequence 001, 002, like this. And then we have 7, then 9 to 10, 7, 8, this is a 9 and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So this 9 and 10 is belong to overflow sequence. So this overflow sequence means if you have received in one batch, if if the bank is sending the receipt in like say example 100 receipt in this batch, so what will happen, this will be overflow. Sorry. Because as per your setup, you system can allow 1 to 99 records only in one batch. So if you want to upload in one batch, suppose 999 record, so you have to extend this one. You have to add one more zero and you have to change in the position here. So it will be 9 to 11, then all the sequence will be changed here. Then it will become 12 to 12 and it will become 13 to 70. All the sequence will change. So it's not like that you just change like 9 to 11 here, but same same position should not be repeated, right? So if you enter 9 to 11 here, so 11 here is repeated. No, you have to change this one. You have to change the sequence here. Okay. So that's why you have to just work on the bank transmission format, and you have to understand, and based on that and it's very simple. This is like the same way I am just explaining you. This is very simple way. Okay. So if you understand this file structure, you can easily build up and easily can do the setup for the Lockbox, and the same structure and same Oracle Fusion also, right? It's in R12, but in Oracle Fusion, same structure, same format. There's no changes, right? But the way of implementation in Oracle Fusion is like okay different. But like the fields, setup part, everything is same. I will also make a video for Lockbox in Oracle Fusion. Okay, so here it will allow only 99 record. What will happen if you receive 100 record? Your data will be in the interface table and all the record will be error out with the error overflow indicator. So this is your overflow indicator. How you come to know that why my record is failed? Because data is correct. Okay, why my record is not uploading and it's not creating a receipt? Because of your overflow indication. So you can see the overflow indicator is 1. So which means you can identify if overflow indicator is 1, it means my overflow that you have received the batch number more than your what you have defined in setup. Okay, so I mean if you have defined here 00 which accept 1299, and if you are receiving more than 100 receipt in a one batch means a transaction details, so which will be overflow condition and your file will import but will interface in all the record will be in the interface table. That's it. It will not create any receipt for that transactions. Okay, so this is 11 is for the overflow indicator and 12 to 17 is your invoice number. 12 to 7. So now justify. Okay, this is your justify. Left, I just put left blank. Okay, but normally it's right blank. So right blank means what happen? Your always invoice number start from your position right to left. Right. This is your right, and you are going to left. Okay, and if now I have 6 number this, but somehow if I receive just only 876, 876, then what will happen? How the system will understand, right? So system will understand if you put here right with 0. So what will happen here? It will be 30 in the file which will be sent from the bank side. So it will be like 000876. Okay, so it means your transaction number is starting from the same position. In position there are not any changes, right? So the position is still 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, right? Same. So this is your transaction number. So the program will check and it will apply against the receipt. Now I will again return back. So this is your record type 4. So this is the meaning of like justify right and left. Okay. So if you want to put left here, in the left if you put, then your number become 8760000. So but you don't have the transaction number 876 triple zero, right? You just have only 876. So your all the uh, transaction application will be failed. Next is lockbox header. So in the lockbox header, if you open the file, so in the lockbox identifier, it's identify lockbox identifier. Let me just open the file again. This is the file. Record type 5. So 5 is identify the record type, and 8 to 11 is lockbox number. So basically lockbox number is sent by the bank. So bank will provide you the lockbox number. Okay, so you cannot have your own lockbox number. So this lockbox number is shared by the bank, as like the bank account number, right? So bank account number is shared by the shared by the bank. So if you check 8 to 11, but if in the middle of this, if you have any data here, so for you, you don't need to worry. Okay, the program and the transmission format will only check those position which is defined here. They don't care about this one, what is 00222 you have okay given here. So they will only just okay take care about the position. So 1 to 1, yeah, okay, this is a record type 5, and 8 to 11. Now we check the lockbox number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. From here our lockbox number is starting 8 to 11, 8 9 10 11. So this is our lockbox number 2 2 3 4. As per position, this is our lockbox number. And if I check in my file, 2234, yeah, 2234 is lockbox number. Now next is the deposit date, the 12 to 16. If you check 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17. So if you check 1st January 16 is your deposit date, and the next is the destination account, then 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Till 24 you have your destination account. This is my bank account number, and this is origination number. This is your bank branch number, so which is here by the bank. So basically this record type 5 lockbox header having all the information okay regarding your lockbox number, deposit date, destination account, origination. So this information is stored in the lockbox header. Next is payment. Let's open the payment. So if you check in the payment, if I open the payment, this is record type 6. Yeah, this record type 6 is belong to your record identifier, okay, which is for the payment. Next is the batch name 224 234. Then 5 to 7 is item number 567, and 8 to 17 is remittance amount. So 8 to 17 is your remittance amount, which is yeah, right, you have received the amount which is a receipt amount. So if you check here 8 to 17, 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17. Okay, so if I check from here 8 to 17. Okay, so now if you see, this is your right justify, and okay, this is a zero symbol. So if you receive the amount more than, so this zero can be utilized. Okay, so now these first two is a decimal based on your country precision. You have to set up your precision value, right? If there is no precision, then it will be considered like the full amount value. Otherwise it will be like this 15,050. The amount will be 15,050. Okay, so this is your amount and this is a decimal value, which is a precision value, right? So this is your amount, 15,015, 50. Now next is the transit routing number. So this is also you receive from the bank, which is basically the routing number is the MICR number. Okay, so I don't have MICR number here, but normally in the bank file, in the you will receive the MICR number. If I see 18 to 25, 18, 90, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So this is basically MICR number. If I have MICR number, I can uh, add the MICR value, and I need to also define the MICR number on the bank account setup level. The next is account. So which is the your bank account, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 26 to 30 or 32, and then 33 to 38 your payment number. So from here 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and 38. So this is your payment number. So when I will submit one program, I will show you all the details, okay, where it's placing. And now next is the receipt date, 39 to 44, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So okay, this is your okay receipt date, and this is if you have the value you can add, otherwise there's no need for the currency code and exchange rate. And if you have any other value you want to add, say example I want to add one more field for the attributes, right? So which I want to receive the comment from the customer side or from the bank side, right? Okay, so in that case you can add 58 to say example 90, and here you can select your attribute. You have lots of fields, so based on your requirement you can select that one. Attribute one, left, blank. Okay, so like this you can add other fields also. Okay, let me remove this one. Now next is 7, the batch trailer. So basically batch trailer will consider batch trailer, what information we have. This is record type 7. So first this is identify, this position is identify our record type, which is 8, no, which is 7. Yeah, just 7. So I need to open only 7. Sorry, I did mistake. Okay, so this is a record type 7, identifier 7, having the position 1 to 1, batch name 2 to 4, 500, 2, 3, 4, and 8 to 11 is lockbox number. So we'll check 5, 6, 7. Now 8 to 11, and if you see the position from 8 to 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's check in the Excel file what is our 2 to 3, 4. Yeah, 2234. So it should be 8 to 11 lockbox number, batch number 8. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 2234, 8 to 11, this is our lockbox number. And then we have deposit date. So deposit date we have position from 12 to 17, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, which is a first Jan 16, 2016. And then we have batch record count 18 to 20. So we have only one batch, so that's why we can see 001. If we have like suppose the 5 batches, so we can see like 005, so which will identify like we have 5 batches. And then we have batch amount 21 to 30. So here 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 21 to 30, this is our batch amount. So batch amount means this is like okay total amount of your receipt. So if you have 5 receipt, so it will show the total amount of the 5 receipt. So this is record type 7, and now I will discuss about the uh, record type 8, so which is lockbox trailer. So if I talk about record type 8, so this is record type 8. So this is identify record type 8 and 8 to 11 lockbox number. So if you see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 2 to 3, 4 is our lockbox number here. And then we have deposit date 12 to 17. Okay, this is our deposit date. And then we have our lockbox record count. So 18 to 21, 18, 90, 20, 21, 001. We have, and this is lockbox amount. So this is like the total amount of all the received header batch. So suppose in one batch you have 5 received, so you have suppose 2 batch, one batch having 5 received and 10 batch having the a second batch having the 10 received. So it means you have in 2 batch total received is 15 received. So here it will show total in the lockbox, the total amount of the lockbox. So the total of the 15 received it will show here in the last. And now the last is the transmission trailer. So this is record type 9 transmission trailer, and we can see here the record identifier and total record count. So total record count, we can open the BAI2 format. So here we can see this is 9 is representing 9 is a record type, and then we can see the 2 to 7 the total record count. So from 2 to 7 it's like it's record count. So we can see 8. So what is 8? If you see number of rows in the file is equal to your total record count. So if you see here 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you see here we have 8 rows. So if you see 8 rows, so we have 8 record count. So whatever rows you have in the file, that will be in the total record count. So this is your the transition format, and this is your BAI2 format. So now we just have discussed about the transmission format. Okay. And this one we have discussed about the VI2 format. So same time we have discussed about the uh, transmission and VI2 format. So from the bank file we call VAI2 format, and this format is always in the .dat file extension. So so whenever you will process, the file extension should be .dat format. Okay, so this both thing is clear. Now the next question is, okay, say now you have three companies, and one is, say example, in US, one in Europe, and one in Asia. Okay, and the three company having three different bank, and you are using a lockbox for the three banks. Suppose you want to implement, okay, one by one. Okay, first you want to implement for US, and second you want to implement for the Europe countries, and then third one you want to implement for the Asian countries, right? So it means uh, the format will be different, right? So same format you can use if the uh, record type position is matching with the bank data file, and trans bank transmission format are same for all three banks, then you can use the same format. Otherwise what you have to do, okay, so in that case, suppose now this is standard, you are not touching anything in this standard, you are creating your new one. Okay, so in the new you are creating, say example, the US lockbox transmission format, say example. Second you can create for, like, say uh, the Germany, right? And third you can create for, like, Malaysia. Okay, so in that case what you have to maintain three formats for the three different banks, because they have the different position. So that's why you have to also have the three different transmission format here. Otherwise using single format you cannot achieve your requirement. So it means if you having the same format in the three banks, then you can use the single format only. Okay, that one which you have defined for the one bank. So same you can use for the other two. And if you have the different, then you have to define different one. And the same time, because from the three banks you will receive the three different file, and the data will be in the different position, right? So now I will tell you how it will map, and how the control file you have to change. Okay, so now let's say example, this is my virtual machine, and I have control file here on the D directory. Say example, if I go here in D, let me just, that I can pass the path here. Okay, so in your live system you have FTP, Oracle FTP, where all the files, legacy system, control files, and whatever your AR open interface files, okay, is coming, okay, where you are receiving in the specific directory, right? It's in a specific folder. Suppose if you are receiving for the transaction, AP transaction, so you have AP folder, AR folder, like this. Okay, under this one you may have like two subfolders, suppose for invoice and suppose for payment, uh, okay, like this. But here I have virtual machine, so I have this path here, that's why. But the file, standard file is same. Suppose this is your standard file, ardft.control. Don't change in this file. This is Oracle seeded file, Oracle seeded control file. This is which this is basically the data loader file. So it's load your data in the interface table based on your field and your record type. So if you see, the type 1 is transmission header, this is commented, that means it's commented into table AR payment interface. So this is your uh, receive interface table. So in the receive interface table, when record type equal to 1, there is condition, okay, and just check this position and insert the data. from the file. So this is load data control file is working to upload the data in the interface table, right? So same for the all type service header, lockbox header, whatever, right? So if you see, all this position is matching with our transmission format. If we open our transmission format, transmission header 1 to 1, this one, the record type position 1 to 1, destination account 4 to 10, and origination this is 11 to 14, and deposit date 15 to 20. Same position in the transmission format should match with your control file. Otherwise, your data will not upload correctly and it will be stuck in the interface table with the error code. And it will have different error, and some error it may be hard to understand, right? So there's very simple things. Just you have to just make sure the alignment of control file position and the transmission format. And if you have for three companies, now you have the three transmission, okay, one for US, one for Germany, and one for Malaysia, okay. So in that case you will have three files, ARDEFT. Say example, you can copy this file and just make it the three file, just change the name. Say example, ARDEFT underscore US, ARDEFT underscore DE for Germany, under and ARDEFT underscore MY for Malaysia. Okay, and based on your transmission format in each file, you can change the position. Once you change the position, saved and move your on the directory on the AR top. Okay, okay, on the AR top where you have control file, you can move this file. Okay, so now what will happen when you submit the program? So let me just submit the program. I will show you how it will link. So go to control and auto invoice, not auto invoice, skin lecture interface here, interface lockbox. So here what you have to do first, this is your new transmission, right? So in the new transmission name, you have to enter the transmission name. Say this is for the uh, US lockbox. One example. Okay, submit import. In import you will enter the data file here. Okay, so data file, where you place your data file. Say example, I have my data file here. Let me just save and close the data file and move on to a specific folder. Let's shoot Oracle Lockbox file. I can replace this one. So what you have to do, you have to copy the path. Same you have to do in the FTP. This is the vision, but this is the same file structure, same like format. Just there you have to use the FTP. Okay, for the outbound and inbound files, right? So I just copy the file name here. Sorry, not file name, file path, and I will enter here data file, then slash for, and I will give the file name. So this is my file name. So the data file means this is my location in this location, I have my data file. I will also tell you the solution for this one. I think you have the couple of the question in your mind, so I will clear this one also. And this is your control file. The control file, you have to just copy the control file name, remove the controls.ctl. You have to give only ARDEFT. Okay, you don't need to give the whole path. Okay, and second, now the transmission format. So now let me talk about my example for the three company. So now I'm creating this one for the US. Okay, so in the data file, what you have to do in the AR top, you have to create one folder which is like Lockbox receipt. In Lockbox receipt, you can have the three folder, say US, MBI for Malaysia, DE for Germany. Okay, so three folder having your country specific file. So what you will do when you are running for the US, so you will go on the US folder, click on US folder, and you will copy the US folder path and the file name, and control file you will select ARDEFT underscore US. Then it will link the transmission format and your uh, data file, right? So all will be on the same page. So I will select the transmission format default. This one is say example for US. Okay, and alternate names search I will leave as a none. We have other option also, manual automated, no. I will leave as it is null. So what will happen now when you check this one, the submit import? Okay, so this will import only in the AR. Let me just go to the database, AR payment interface all table. Okay, so I just add the condition source type flag equal to L. If it is equal to L, it means those lines is belong to Lockbox. So now if I query this, I will not find any data. So once I will submit the data with this one, then I can see the data in the database. Okay, and then you have to submit the submit validation, right? So I will break this one. I can submit in a single attempt, but in my previous video I submitted okay directly, okay, with checking checkbox, the submit import and submit validation and submit post quick case. In this one what I will do, I will break in the three steps. So I will show you the impact where the data is stored now. So now the submit import I will just submit. So now this submit validation and submit post quick case will not work because I have not check both the checkbox. So this submit validation is basically is validate the data and interface into interim table, and post submit post quick case, it's create the receipt in AR for the lockbox. So now what I will do, I will just let me just copy transmission name, submit. So this is my request ID and I can find my request. Now you can see there is no data here. Once request is completed, you will see data and I will show you where the data is placed and what is the status and how we can see the, okay, this is the correct data. Okay, so now this is completed. We see the view output. Let's see. So this is our output. Loaded data from number of records successfully imported 8. So we have the 8 record in the file. You are not assigned a value for AR log for okay. So that's fine. So if you see, means this is our 8 record is successfully inputted. Now we will check in the table. Now you can see the number of record 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is inputted. You can see this is a transmission record ID. For each record there is a transmission record ID, and this is status. So this is like new record status. When you submit the validation, you will see the different status right here, and if any error, so it will also show like what is the error for what. Okay, this is your request ID, this is your destination account, and this is your origination 2001 2001. Okay, and this is your deposit date. But here you can see our destination account is not correct, 1234. But for record type 1, it's not validate. It will, okay, it will pass this one. Okay, but anyway in the file we will have the same account, destination account. Okay, because this is my manual file I have created, so there is just some mistake, like I I have okay, say example. Now if the data is incorrect, you can delete the data and you can re-input it again. Okay, so you can do also the same thing. Okay, this is deposit date, this is your lockbox number, this is the transmission record count which is 8, this is lockbox record count which is 1, this is lockbox amount, okay, which is this one. But when it will interface based on your country precision, it will make it in that currency format. So this is a batch name, this is the batch amount, all the detail you can see. This is remittance amount, this is routing number, we have 00, so that's why. This is our account number, this is check number means our receipt number, this is our invoice number. So if invoice is exist this one, so this will apply on this one. If invoice is not matched, then the receipt will be created as a unapplied status. So this the whole information you can see. Whatever, if we have some other information, so it will also uh, interface. So, and this is a source type flag. L means the lockbox. Okay, so this is just first step. We just break down to understand how the data is interface in the table. Now the second step, what I will do, I will submit now the second request, the same format. We'll go lockbox. I will not select the new transmission because I'm not going to re-upload. Okay, I will select my request which I created. What my request is, I think US lockbox. Okay, and then submit validation. Because if you select this one, the new transmission, in that case you have to enter your new name, which should be unique than the other request, other transmission name. So this part we have already done, so we will not take this one. Now we are submitting the validation, right? So in the validation, I will select the GL date. Say example GL date I will give first Jan 16. Report format all, what is successful and complete for all it should show. And check this checkbox, allow payment of unrelated invoices also. Okay, if you check this checkbox, so if any payment, which means the invoice you don't have any invoice for that one, so it will allow to create a receipt for those receipts. And this is the post partial amount as unapplied. Don't check this one, the reject enter receipt. Check this one, post partial amount as unapplied, because if you check this one, suppose you have received like you have received the receipt amount is 500, but your transaction amount is 800, right? So it means still you have the 300. So what will happen if you check this one? So receipt will be created as a unapplied status for the 500, right? And and even the program can apply 500 because the 300 will be the due amount. And if you select this one, the reject enter receipt, if you have 10 receipt, one receipt having the incorrect amount or incorrect detail, the whole receipt batch will be rejected. So the best way is check this checkbox, push partial amount as unapplied. So what I will do now, this is the second part. I'm just submitting, and we'll see in the table what will be status now. If I run, I can see the same status, new record. So once the program is completed, you will see the status will update it. You have to keep refreshing. Yeah, now program is running. And I think this is very detailed video. You will not find anywhere, right? And even if you have any further query, so leave me comment. I will provide the solution and I will help you. Okay, program is completed. If I check the view output, I can see 6 record validated, 2 receipt transferred, and this is the all summary as per the record type 2, record type 1, 9, 8, 4. So here you can see this is your record type 4, which is for your transaction. This is your transaction number. This is your the customer number. Based on the transaction, the program picks the customer number, and this is your currency, and this is your matching number. Okay, and if you scroll down, okay, this is your record type 5. This is your lockbox number, account, currency, origination number, and this is record type 8, 7, and where is 6? Yeah, this is record type 6. If you see here, this is your receipt number. Okay, this is your batch name, and this is your amount. This is your amount. Okay, so if you now let's check the interface table, execute. So there is no record in the AR payment interface. So it means the record is interfaced into interim table because all record is correct. If any issue, if any error, so when you submit this one, you can see in the status field. Okay, so based on that, you can correct the data in the table, or you can correct in the file or reprocess the file. But before reprocess, you have to delete the data from the uh, AR payment interface all, and just make sure there is no further record is processed. Otherwise, what will happen? The duplicate receipt will be created. Say example, if you have the 10 receipt in the file and 8 receipt is processed, now 2 receipt is stuck in the error. Okay, so what will happen? If you delete these 2 record and reprocess the file after did some correction, right? So again, the 8 more receipt will create it if you don't have validation for the unique receipt number. Now if I check in the interim table, I can see the data in the interim table now. So all the table you can see, this one, the cash receipt ID created, batch ID, customer number, and status unapplied, and cash receipt number, this is. And same is for the lines. Let me check for lines if we have data for lines. Yes, but lines we have to pass the cash receipt ID. Cash receipt ID. So we can see the line, payment schedule ID, customer transaction ID, and batch ID. So all the information is exist. Now we'll check in the system that our receipt is created or not. Query the receipt. And what is the receipt number? Just check. Table. Anyway, we know the receipt number, customer TRX number. Customer TRX ID. Still I'm checking this one. Okay. Yeah, if I see here, where is the amount? Yeah, this is the receipt number. I will copy. Even I can read from the file also. Okay, it's not a big deal. If I go here in the file, for the receipt, record type 6. In record type 6, you can go here, this one. This is the amount. This is the bank account number. And this is your receipt number. 115012. Okay. So if you know the structure also, so you can read from the file also. And now query the receipt. Okay. So now you can see we have found, but we have not found our one. This one is receipt date is 2005, but our receipt is 1st January 2016 and amount is 15,050. Okay, so it means our receipt is not interface. Now what we will do, we'll submit the lockbox again. What is the name our tab? Now we will not check these checkbox and this one. We will just submit post quick cache. So it will interface our receipt. Just submit this one. The program is running. Once the program is completed, you can see the receipt is created in the interface table. So basically, these are the uh, three interface table: AR payment interface all, where the first load is done in this table, and the second, once you submit the validation program, okay, means validation means on the lockbox submission screen. So you can it will validate the record. All the record is passed and status is checked okay, then it will interface into interim table. And once you submit the post quick cache, it will interface the receipt in the AR cache receipt all table. So basically these are the four tables is used in this process. Now let me check if yeah, program is completed, and if I open I can see the output now. So this is your post post QCase execution report, and you can see this is amount, this is your bank account number, this is batch name, this is your the uh, batch source, this is total amount and applied invoice on this invoice. Now we will check for more clarity in Oracle. We have now our receipt number. What is the receipt number? So this is our record. We will open this one. So if you see, this is our receipt method, this is our receipt number, and this is our receipt amount, and this is the our customer and remittance details. This is applied, and this is the receipt date. Okay, and if I click on apply, so you can see the receipt is applied on the transaction number 500876. If this number is not accessed in Oracle, then this receipt is created with unapplied status. So this is the overall process for the transmission format, control file, and the BAI2 format. Now let me clear two more things. Okay, the technical tables. Yeah, we have also discussed for the technical tables. So these are the basically four tables is used in this process. So I can pass the cash receipt ID. If you see, now we have the data in our year cash receipt table, and interim table, the data is gone. There's no data in the interim table. Once the data is successfully interfaced, it will not stay in the interface table. Okay, and even you can directly run this process. You can directly run submit lockbox processing. You can check this checkbox and give the transmission name and submit validation, submit post queue, can, right? So now the last point which I need to discuss for solution to integrate lockbox file with any bank. Okay, now say example. Very old Excel. Okay, this is my company ABC and this is the bank BOA. Okay, this is company and this is bank. Let me just make it zoom. Okay, so now company ABC is deal with bank BOA, which is US bank, that I want to implement auto lockbox in AR. So the treasury team will discuss for the like the costing or pricing, whatever. Okay, they are like service charges or anything. Okay, so bank for IT team, bank will provide the format and the file VI2 file, which is a data file, right? And what you need to check for how many accounts you are going to implement lockbox for same bank, because sometimes what happen, you have the two accounts or three accounts with the bank. Okay, say example, one is for the USD currency and one is for the CAD. Okay, so the banks normally, each bank having a separate file based on their currency, right? Means their bank account currency. So if you have two bank account and different currency, one is your functional of USD, one is your foreign currency, which is the CAD, and you have two bank accounts. Okay, in that case, the bank will provide the two files for each bank account. Okay, so now how you will get the file? Okay, so now the bank will, you have to, IT team has to check. Okay, their maybe infrastructure team or database team need to involve in this process. So what will happen, there are two options. One is bank will push the file on our server. Okay, so this is the option one. And option 2, that company will pick the file from bank server. Okay. So now what will happen? If bank is pushing the file on your server, then you have to provide the your SFTP credential. So when you provide the SFTP credential, so you have to check with your infrastructure team that I need one username on SFTP, that I need the username, and there is file folder directory. So you have to ask to create one file folder for, say example, the Lockbox, and that folder access, this user should have that folder access, and you have to provide that IP and login credential to the bank. So bank will connect with your server, and if the connection is established, then bank will push the file on your server which you have provided SFTP details. So now what will happen? This is the first step, right? So bank is push the file on SFTP. Okay, now you have your Oracle FTP. Now you have FTP, then you have Oracle folder, say example Oracle Lockbox folder, because in FTP you have different type of tops, and in top you have like the folders, right? And in FTP you have created Oracle Lockbox. So in SFTP you have received the file. Now in FTP, how the file will move, you have to check with your infrastructure team that uh, and same thing, what you have to ask, you have to ask to database team that I need in the one folder for the Lockbox under the AR top. Okay, so database team will create the folder in the AR top. So yeah, one more thing, with the bank you have to agree with your file naming convention. Okay, because if you have the file naming convention, so that will be very good. Say example, you can ask to bank that I need the file naming convention, say the Lockbox number underscore date and time. If you have just only one Lockbox, if you have multiple, so you can ask for the same, right? Or you can ask, if you have if you are dealing with three different banks, then you can ask like I need like for one bank you can ask I need the file for file name and convention like this. For US you can ask BAI underscore Lockbox number. Lockbox number means for that bank account, for that bank Lockbox number which bank will provide, and date and time. So each day you will receive the file, so you will get the everyday date and time. So second, you can ask for the uh, Germany bank, that okay, whatever. Okay, so same naming convention you can ask to the Germany and Malaysia bank like this. So what will happen? Now you have the naming convention of the file. You can ask to infrastructure team that I need this file. If the file is starting with this naming convention BOA underscore Lockbox, you have to provide the BOA underscore Lockbox number. So that file should be moved on under the FTP in this folder. So they will write the script except on the server level. So whatever file is on the SFTP, they will move this file on the Oracle Lockbox folder. Okay, so it will be very easy for you. Otherwise, how you will move the file SFTP, because directly on the any specific Oracle FTP folder, company don't provide the direct access. So all the access is given through the SFTP. Okay, so this is the option one. And option two, company will pick the file from bank server. So now what will happen? Bank will provide you the SFTP details like the username and file folder and IP. and username and password. So your SFTP team will connect with the bank and will pick the file from there and can move directly to Oracle Lockbox folder using script. So these are the two options which you can use. I will prefer this one. The bank will push the file on your server. So it's like very simple way. You just need to provide the only credential and IP. You need to create one SFTP username and folders, and you can share with the bank. So this is the overall the concept of the transmission format and control file, BAI2 format, and these technical tables and solution to integrate logbox file with any bank. So if you have any query, please leave me a comment and I will try to reply you as soon as possible. And this is now the whole Lockbox implementation is covered in the Lockbox 2 part, because that's why I have not created the one. I've not covered everything in the part one. Otherwise, the video will be very lengthy, and you also feel bored. Like, because if you are watching continuously 2 and 3 hours video, so for you also it's very lengthy, right? Okay, to understand. So that's why I break down. One is like functional part, and second is a technical part. Okay, so now you can do your practice, and if you have any further query, so you can ask me, and I will also try to upload for the Fusion, like how to implement auto lockbox on the Fusion side, and I will also try to upload some more interesting video on for the Oracle R12 and Oracle Fusion. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe my channel and please keep watching my channel for the latest video, and which will be very interesting and very like okay, scenario specific. Thank you for watching my channel.